Now it is time to work on the repository of this login API. Let's open this account repository. Over here, let's create a new method. Now to work with this login API, we need a new model in this application. Just like we have done for the sign up, we can add a new model over here. Let's create a new one. Let's give it a name sign in model. And over here we can have two properties. First is the email and second is the password. Let's copy the name of this model and use it over here as a parameters. To work with the login functionality in this application, we have to use one more manager. Just like we are using this user manager, there is one more manager and the name is sign in manager. Let's include that one over here. And this sign in manager, again we have to pass the name of our user class. With the help of this sign in manager, now we can log in successfully in this application. Wait, sign in manager dot password sign in async. So if I want to sign in with the help of password, then I need to use this method password sign in async. In this method we have to pass couple of properties. First is the email. The email is available in this sign in model dot email property. Then we need the password. So sign in model dot password. Then as a third parameter we have to pass is persistent, and as a fourth one we have to pass the lockout on failure. This is persistent is basically the checkbox that we generally have on the login functionality. If we are passing the true value in this parameter, then the user will be logged in automatically. If we are passing the false value, then user has to log in every time. So let's say here I am passing false. And the fourth one is the lockout on failure. If I want to add this functionality, like if user is entering some wrong password and you want to lock his account after some attempts, so here you can pass true, otherwise you can simply pass false. The type of this result is sign in result. Let's verify. If the result dot succeeded, if this property is true, it means login is successful. If this is not true, it means there is some problem. So if this is false, then we can return the value from here like this. Then now if everything is fine, now we have to add few claims in this application. Let's do that. Once you are done with these claims, you have to add a new authentication key. And now it is time to read some settings from our configuration file. So for that we need to use one more dependency over here in the constructor. So I can write iConfiguration and the configuration. Let's use the namespace. Make sure you are using this Microsoft.extensions.configuration, not this automapper. Delete the field. Like this. Now with the help of this configuration, we can read the settings from our configuration file. Open the app settings file, and this is the key that we need over here. So we can pass it secret like this. Now we have to generate a new token. In the constructor of this class, we have to pass few settings. The first one is issuer, so we can read the settings again from our configuration file. Let's copy this one, paste it over here. The issuer is basically this valid issuer, paste it over here. Audience, in this expire parameter you have to set the validity for this particular token. So let's say here I'm setting datetime dot. Now let's say I'm setting 1 day for the validity of this particular token. Claims, these are all the auth claims that we have already defined over here in this line. Then we need the sign-in credentials. Sign-in credentials, so here we have to use a new class, sign-in credentials, and over here we have to pass the auth sign-in key, this key with the secret value, and in the second parameter we have to pass secure algorithm dot. Now we have defined all the settings for this token. Now with the help of JWT security token handler class we can generate our token. Let's do that. So here we have to use new, the class name is JWT security token handler, this one, and there is a method write token, and in this method we have to pass the token. Now this will generate a token and we can simply return this token from this method like this. Now let's use the same method in the interface of this account repository. So here is the iaccount repository.cs file, and over here let's use this model definition also. Now it is time to open the account controller, and over here just like we have done the settings for the sign up, we need to create one more action method for the login. Let's copy this entire method, paste it over here, and this time I'm writing login. Let's update the settings. Here I have to use login async, update the model also, sign in model, this method is going to return a string value. If this is null, then we have to return unauthorized. If this is not null, then we can return OK from here, and in this OK method we can return a token. The token is available in this result variable like this. You can also add the validations in this sign-in model. So by using the system.component-model.data annotations, you can add your model validations. And over here we have to use, let's say I'm writing required, maybe email address also like this, and this one is also required like this. Now we are done with all the changes in this login API. It is time to test it. Let's run this application in debug mode. This application is running. Now let's open the Postman. In this Postman, let's say without passing anything in the header, I'm trying to access all the books. Let's hit the send button. Here you can see that we are getting 401 unauthorized error. It means this is a secure API and we can only access this API with a valid token. For that we have to first work on the login API. If you remember, in the previous video we have created 2 accounts in this application with the help of these email IDs. This is the first email ID, and in the second one we have removed this one. Let's get one more copy of this method, new tab, and over here this time instead of using this sign up we have to use login. Again here in the body section we have to remove both of them, confirm password also, just the email and the password. Let's hit the send button. Here is the token that we got as a response of this API. Let's copy this entire token with the help of this button. Now go back to the all books API over here. Now here in this authorization tab we have to use the bearer token, this one, and here in this section we can paste this entire token. So let's right click and hit this paste button. So we have pasted the token. Now remember earlier we were getting 401 error. Now if I hit the send button, you can see that we got the breakpoint over here on this get all books method. Hit the continue button, and here you can see that we are getting all the books. This is how we can access the secure API in ASP.NET Core web application. If you will make any change in this token, or you can say if you are passing some wrong token, let's say I'm removing E from here, hit the send button again. This time this is not a valid token, and as a result we are getting 401. Pass the correct one. Here again we got the debugger and we are getting all the values. This is how you can work in ASP.NET Core Web API application.